Alright guys, so what I'm doing today is detailing the Raptor. The guy I bought it from did keep it in meticulous shape. I'm probably one of very few people that care about the undercarriage. So one thing I'm doing today is going to be wiping down the underneath of this truck. As you guys can see, you know, all of the skid plate and all the lower components. If I come over here and show you guys the inside of the wheel well, especially, it's all caked up with dirt, and I'm sure it's been there for a minute. All over the control arm there, the frame. Exhaust tips definitely need some work, but axle, just everything down there, it's just all the stuff's been caked on for a minute. Also too, I'm very excited to see how these things shine up. He's like, yeah, I had it detailed all the time. This guy always used, apparently, that nasty, like, oily stuff, dude. It's disgusting. I don't know why they think that stuff looks good, but I got some of it off back here so far. I kind of left some of it there on the armrest, but yeah, it's not a good look. And here comes someone to probably kick me out of the farm. You too? All right, we've been banned. I'm gonna start off kind of light here and hit these exhaust tips really quick, which I don't see a whole lot of hope for, to be honest, but soak it down with the all-purpose cleaner, 1-to-1 ratio, and see if we can get some of that junk off of the exhaust tips here. The rear diff is all clapped out. Let's go ahead and soak that down and see if we can get that thing looking a little more pretty. Alright guys, the respirator's on. This stuff reeks. So I've never diluted it 1-to-1. It's pretty strong, which means it's probably getting the job done. Alrighty guys, so it is the next day and it is looking a lot better down there now. Definitely could use a round 2 for sure to get into all the little nooks and crannies. I didn't get really every single detail out, but overall a lot better for sure. A lot better. It took a long time though, a couple hours just to get this back part done because it's so intricate, getting up all the nooks and crannies and whatnot. Yeah, the all-purpose cleaner is pretty aggressive, so it worked pretty good, but yeah, stuff's been on there for I'm sure a long time. I don't think underneath this truck's ever been done. So yeah, and the exhaust tips, I tried getting them things looking right too, but they are, yeah, they're pretty done. So I'm gonna have to paint those things right there and get those things looking right. But yeah, man, pretty much it. Didn't do the front half yet. Boy, it is cooking today, man. Summer's finally here. It feels good, but also feels bad. I'm not a fan of the heat whatsoever. Also, too, that is a clean ram right there, dude. Damn. Super clean. Gotta give your flowers to all the other trucks too, dude. Not just Ram, not just Toyota, not just Ford Raptor. I bought this truck out of state. In order to get it into California registration status, which I haven't done yet, they need a smog from me. They also need a weight done on it because it's a commercial vehicle. Get it weighed and then smogged, and then off to the AAA to pay the good old California registration fees, which I am just so excited to pay. So excited. So yeah, we're off to the smog place first and foremost, and crank on these cooled seats and then go pay the man. the truck didn't pass, and it also didn't fail. It just wasn't smog ready for some reason. I have to go through a drive cycle now and maintain a steady speed of 25 miles an hour. Don't go above 40 for 5 minutes, and then maintain 55 miles an hour. Don't go above 60 or below 40 for 15 minutes. So I mean, I drove from Vegas, and I've done a lot of driving. Maybe I didn't drive it right. I don't know. That's kind of odd that it wouldn't be smog ready. What I'm thinking though, my assumption is this truck came with a Cobb tuner, and I'm assuming that's in some mode right now in the tune that is not allowing it to be smog ready. So how do we turn this on? Turn on? No, nothing. So at this point, I didn't realize it, but the fuse for the OBD was actually blown out. That's why I couldn't get any power to the Cobb tuner, but went ahead and did the drive cycles anyways, holding it at about 25 miles an hour for 5 straight minutes. And I did this 3 separate times just to make sure that the computers were good to go for the following day. And I'll tell you guys as much, it's not easy holding it at 25 miles an hour for 5 straight minutes on a public roadway, but went ahead and did the 55 mile an hour one as well, getting passed by semi trucks. And at this point, I realized I am just impeding traffic. So I saved it for later on in the evening, and then did each one overall 3 separate times at 55 and also at 25, 3 separate times, attempts to get the O2 and the catalyst monitors nice and ready for the following day. But then you guys will see that I replaced the fuse for the OBD, and now I'm able to communicate with the ECU, and it's showing that 3 of the 8 monitors are still not ready. That was the catalyst, the O2, and the fuel system. Grab my own OBD2 scan, and it ain't working. So now I'm thinking, wherever the fuses are, it might be blown, not in there. This is not feeding me power, so let's find the fuse box for it. All right, so there's no fuse under the hood here or inside of the truck for an OBD2. So I'm assuming it's this one here for the smart data link control. I'm assuming is it. It's the closest thing to OBD. It doesn't appear to be blown out, but at the same time, it does look kind of cooked. So I don't know. Try a new one and see what happens. Only problem is I don't have new ones, so I'll have to swap it for a non-important fuse in the meantime and see if that works. This one right here is for the tailgate. So I'll pull that one out, and then put this one into the spot for the smart data link control. Alrighty, plug in my OBD scanner tool here. Just like that, dude. We have power. That's what it was. It was the fuse. That was the problem. Blown out fuse. But let's go ahead and view the readiness status of it and see what's good. Fuel system monitoring, incomplete. Catalyst, incomplete, and O2 sensor monitoring, incomplete. So in other words, the truck is not smog ready. So now what I'll do is plug in the Cobb tuner and take this thing back to stock. All right, let's continue and let's see which map is loaded onto the truck. Performance tow 93 octane. So I called the guy I bought this truck from, and he said that he's never pulled the battery terminals off or done anything except for this tune, and that was over a year ago. What I'm gonna do is uninstall the map here. So now I'm unloading the 93 octane tune, and since we're doing this, ECU flash again, we're gonna have to go and do the drive cycles. So I'll go and knock that out, and hopefully we're good to go. Please turn ignition key off for at least 15 seconds before starting vehicle. Let's do it. All right, fuel system incomplete, catalyst incomplete, O2 incomplete. It's all incomplete. So according to the instructions here, it wants us to start up from a cold start for 5 minutes idling, and then go to an average speed of 25 miles an hour for 5 minutes, and then maintain an average of 55 miles an hour for 15 minutes, and then decelerate with no brakes. 25 miles an hour for 5 straight minutes is actually kind of tough, because it's too slow for city streets, but then too fast for neighborhoods. Holding at 55 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone, so that's perfect. Still getting passed by semis, but it's all good. About 14 minutes left to go of this, so hopefully no traffic pops up, but we shall see. All right, so we're still having the evap system monitoring not complete yet, but everything else is clear. In the 45 minutes I drove it tonight, everything else is good to go. And as you guys seen with the tune still logged into the truck's computer, it had an O2, fuel system, and catalyst incomplete. I'm pretty convinced that the tune being downloaded into the truck's computer was the reason why the computers in the truck were not smog ready. As you guys seen, when I plugged the proper fuse into the OBD slot, and I was able to communicate with the computer. It was showing me that still 3 of the 8 monitors were not ready. That was the fuel system, the catalyst, and the O2 were not ready yet. And I go on one 45-minute drive tonight with the tune deleted, and everything's good to go except for the evap, which will come with time. Have to put some more miles on it for sure. Alrighty guys, so I just got back from a late night drive. It is 1:21 in the morning, but I was dying to know if this sequence of driving habits would work. According to this guy on YouTube, he was like, if you take your car up to 65 miles an hour and then let it just coast, let it kind of just come to a stop on its own, don't use the brakes, don't use the gas, take it up to 65 and let your car roll to a stop 2, 3, or 4 times, then your evap will eventually activate. And sure enough, check that out. Evap system, okay, boom. Now everything is a green light for tomorrow with the tune in here and it being in here for over a year. O2 and then fuel system along with the catalyst in over a year. And I was able to, once the tune was taken out, I was able to get all those things good to go in like a 40-minute drive. So that's pretty much the answer to the problem, was the tune. Jamboree Smog's the spot. Dude, we got phone chargers, we got refreshments, we got snacks, and a car wash next door. And also too, what's cool is I didn't pay last time I was here. I don't know if it's because it's not Smog ready or what, if you fail if you don't pay too, I don't know, but either way they didn't charge me. They were like, if you don't pass, you don't pay. I'm not sure if that means also if you fail, but either way I didn't pay. So but yeah, dude, Jamboree Smog, it'd be the place. And now we just chill. He said 10 minutes, so we should be good to go in a few, but yeah, not a bad place to kick it. And we passed. Let's get weighed. In the week I've owned this truck, I've seen more Ford Raptors than TRD Pro Tundras. In a week, there's another one. In 1 week that I did with the entire time of ownership in the Tundra. Ford Raptors are everywhere out here. And another one. No way. 333.
Turn left, and the destination is on your right.
There's a scale right there.
Arrived.
Round 2. The last stop of the day, we're here at AAA. Let's get this done. This one's huge, dude. Dang. Alrighty guys, and just like that, it's got the California plates. This thing's registered now to California. We are good to go. So for those who never realized, the Tesla trucks have no back window. So your only source of vision on the back side of it's that camera right there and your screen. I don't know, man. That one's not growing on me. I just can't. We're now officially all registered here in California with the Raptor. That is all good to go now. We have California plates. We're good. But I find it kind of hard to believe that the Cobb tuner was not the reason for the computers in the truck not being Smog ready. So 3 of them out of 8 were not Smog ready with the tune installed into the ECU. So what I did after the Smog station was like, hey, your computers are not ready to go. You have to go and do a drive cycle. I'm like, that's kind of weird because I drove it from Vegas, and so I don't know, wouldn't that kind of make it Smog ready now? But obviously you have to do a very specific drive cycle, you know, hold it at a certain speed for a certain amount of time. I did 55 miles an hour 3 separate times for 15 plus minutes, then did 25 miles an hour for 5 minutes 3 separate times, so each one 3 separate times. And then come the following morning, I realized that the fuse is called something completely different. It's called data link control or something like that, right? So I replaced the fuse, and now the fuse is working, and I'm able to communicate with the ECU through the OBD2 scan port with my OBD2 scanner tool, and it shows me that 3 of the computers are still not ready. That was the catalyst, the O2, and the fuel system. So then I went for a drive again to, you know, cycle the whole thing over again and try to get the computers all ready. And sure enough, after 2 drive cycles of doing 55 miles an hour and 1 drive cycle of doing 25 miles an hour, all the computers were good to go just like that. That's all it took. And I did it 3 separate times. each one of those 3 separate times the night before with the tune installed into the ECU. It wouldn't become ready. And then I removed the tune that night or that morning after, and then go for a drive cycle. And sure enough, just like that, all of the monitors are good to go. They're all clear and ready for smog. They all passed, except for the evap monitor, but that was something I looked into also in California apparently. And I don't know for sure about this one, but apparently in California, that's the one monitor you don't need to have ready on your vehicle when you go to smog it. They look past that one, but I went ahead and did it anyways. According to some guy on YouTube, he was like, drive it 65 miles an hour, get it up to speed, and then let go of the accelerator, don't brake, and let it come to a complete stop down to under 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, whatever it was. 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 if you need to, and the evap status will become ready. And sure enough, that's what happened. Did it 3 times, and it wasn't easy, by the way, either. Trying to find a place to go from 65 to 0 without hitting the brakes. Kind of tough for sure, but got it done, and everything was good to go. So I'm pretty certain at that point the tune was the issue of the computers or the monitors not being smog ready on the Raptor. But a pretty simple fix. I mean, the Cobb tuner is very simple to undownload tunes with or to download tunes with. Every time you do that though, you're flashing your ECU and you have to go through drive cycles to get it back to smog ready. In the meantime, let's get home and wipe down the interior and get all that nasty, what do they call Armor All, right? Armor All, all that nasty like motor oil stuff all over the freaking seats and dashboard and steering wheel and whatnot. It's just disgusting. So we'll get home and wipe all that down, and then get the interior all dialed, and then finish out the front suspension stuff maybe tomorrow actually. My main focus is the interior. Got the back done, looking a lot better back there, and yeah, that'll be a lot nicer for show. But yeah, man, let's head home and get to it and get this thing ready for tomorrow morning. So one upside to not having the tune installed into the truck with the Cobb tuner is that now all the factory drive modes work. So as were before, you know, you have normal mode and then sport mode and slippery mode and tow haul mode and stuff like that. Those modes are essentially like different tunes that the truck came with. And when I had the tune installed with the Cobb tuner, those drive modes didn't work, or at least a few that I tried. So sport mode didn't do anything different. You were able to turn the mode on, but it wouldn't do anything different because the tune that was installed by the Cobb tuner was overriding all of the factory driving functions. And I'll tell you guys this much, dude, the sport mode in this truck is all the tune that you're gonna need because it is freaking snappy. It is an aggressive drive mode, and it turns everything into sport mode as far as the exhaust goes, suspension, and the steering. But it also makes the shifts a lot more aggressive, and overall it's a lot more responsive. So I am beyond happy with that. That way we're not hacking into computers and tampering with the ECU and all that stuff. Dude, I've never ever wanted to do a tune because I'm no computer genius, and I am not trying to have that problem of my ECU getting fried or whatever the case. Whatever downside there could be from a tune, I am not about it. I'm sure they're tried and true at this point, but like I'm not down. I'm just not down. So sport mode is all I need. We are good on that. Back home now, and I mixed up some Dawn dish soap and some water to degrease the interior because the interior is a little greasy with all that Armor All and whatnot. So alrighty, nothing fancy, just a little Dawn dish soap and some water to degrease this interior, and that's looking a lot and feeling a lot better too. So I'm gonna go over it all with just a plain water wipe down now to get all the soap residue off. But dang, that's a lot. I'm sure it didn't come through on camera at all before versus after, but man, nice and dry I feel now. I'm just gonna keep wrenching on the interior here and getting all the lube off my interior.
Have fun.
Thanks.